Welcome to Because You Need to Know, recorded live at the Cohen Multimedia Studio at Chautauqua Institution. I am Edwin K. Morse, President and Founder of Pioneer Knowledge Services. This series is your digital resource of valuable conversations with nonprofit and knowledge management enthusiasts from across industries and from around the globe. And we welcome back to the studio Mrs. Ginetta Gueli. She holds a Master's of Science in Business Administration from Pisa's University and is an ASIC alumna. She has more than 10 years of experience in knowledge management and has an extensive understanding in dealing with different cultures. In her current role as a business analyst for a law firm, Ginetta is supporting the CEO in reshaping business processes and detecting shareable and valuable knowledge to increase business volumes and improve cooperation between teams. Welcome back to the studio. What exactly is your story when we talk about sharing knowledge in a story, right? So you and I have had a podcast, and that was your first one. What was that like?
The first podcast was my first podcast at all. And I was very anxious and I was trembling. And still I have the idea that my voice is just the right one. I'm just trembling. But my experience was very positive, to be honest. I feel very comfortable. And I like to share my experience, my life and professional experience with others. And so I like to perform storytelling for the others so that we can exchange point of view, because sometimes I feel really alone in my job. So speaking with the others and speaking the same language, know what we are talking about, it's very important. But of course, the first experience is always very emotional.
It's tough, right? The first time, it's like baby steps. Oh, I don't know what to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the first time, but then I personally decided to leave my comfort zone and just try. And I really recommend to anyone who wants to share their experience, their KM experience, to just do a step ahead and try. Nothing will happen, really. Nothing really serious and bad will happen. Yeah. Of course, the first time you'll be very nervous and again trembling, but maybe the second time will be better and then better and then better, like today.
So today's a little different than it was the first time, right?
Yes, it was the first time.
Because you have an expectation, you've already gone through it, you've done the behavior, you're like, okay, well, I survived, it did okay. Yes. Yeah, all right, so nothing too scary. But why is this such a critical thing that we want to bring to the listeners? What about this is important to knowledge, the field of knowledge management? Why is this important, do you think?
I think it's important because we need to speak each other more, and we'll be more in contact using different medium. I consider ourselves like a group of people who really love and being passionate. But at the same time, I don't think, and I might be wrong, that we have enough space in the business environment to speak about this and all together. So I think this podcast, it's very important to get each other know what are our experience. We are KM lovers, and we always recommend the others to share their experience, their knowledge. If we don't lead by practice, then it's a waste of time. We are not reliable.
Great point. That's a great point.
So I think we should create a sort of lobby and pushing and advocate our ideas and using, again, any type of ways to let the others, let the planet know better our value. And this is for sure the first step. Let's leave the comfort zone and approach the real planet, the real world, and face them face to face, because we have so much to tell.
Do you feel that this has the same weight and importance to other industries more than just knowledge management?
I think we are as knowledge managers and knowledge management lovers, I think we are a little bit more shy than the others.
Why is that?
I personally think that people would present in conferences and any sort of events, they like to be on stage, having the microphone in front of themselves and just accept me this word, but they like to show off. I mean, maybe it's because I'm coming from I have a specific professional background with a lot of salespeople or communicators, and they really like to be on stage. And on the other side, I see that we are a little bit shy. We like to do our work, and we are not there just making.
Well, do you think that's part of the mystique, and that's part of the reason organizations don't really know what to do with knowledge management to some degree? Because of that deficit, right? We haven't, maybe there needs to be more of a connection with our story and the outcomes that we can deliver to make that more. I mean, I just think the podcast is a great knowledge management mechanism, right? It's a tool to transfer information in a different way versus a 3-page memo or something, like that. And it gives little samples, right? And the whole idea is to give a buffet style of different topics so people can pick different topics that they want.
Exactly.
Are interested.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with that.
Now, you brought up something that I really want to key in on. You've just iconically created a term called the KM lobby.
Yes.
So we are an international lobbyist of knowledge management, right?
Yes.
So that's
I really believe so.
That's the new hashtag that you've created. We can originate it back to you. I think it's brilliant. KM Lobby is a great term that really represents a lot more than just what KM is and those people that are using KM. But really, to be a lobbyist means that you believe in it and you are trying to sell it, right?
Yes, and you push very hard, and you just stop at the first no and the second no. You are pushed a lot and hard and hard, because it's only in this way we can be recognized as a super professional, which are very useful for the organization, no matter if this private or public, or it's an NGO, whatever. But this is the only way we can be protagonists of this story, of the business story, to be honest, but not only the business story. I really believe that we should create a lobby with our specific business card and say, KM lobbyist. Yes, what is your job? KM lobbyist. Because if you just write KM or knowledge management, they say, what is this? What the hell? But if you say lobbyist, people say, lobby. Very interesting, because it sounds fancy, sounds fantastic, sounds that there's something else behind, no? So I think this should be a very good idea to put in your business card, just to get the interest of the other. And then after the first chat, the second chat, they will know much more what we do and the value we can add. So it's, the 30-second elevator speech, a sort of. Let's say in this way. So yes, I'm very an advocate of being a KM lobbyist.
Well, thank you for that, and thank you for sharing that here on the podcast. That's fantastic. I think it'll catch fire myself.
Thank you very much, Edwin.
In a good way, in a good way, yes.
Of course. Thank you very much.
The last thing I'll ask is that if you're going to give advice to someone who has never done a podcast, what would you say to them in this framework? What would you recommend to them?
Well, I would recommend just to be very honest and transparent and just telling the experience they have, because you work every day on KM. So you know what you are saying because you are doing that. So just prepare a little bit, maybe a couple of days before. You just speak in front of a mirror about what you want to say. You just try, and then jump the leap, and then you will see. Of course, you have to overcome your fears and your worries, but again, nothing very bad can happen to you. On the contrary, a lot of good things are going to be back to you, like in this case, because this is my second podcast. So this is what I would recommend. Just leave your comfort zone, try, give you a possibility to share your experience because it's valuable. Then you will see. This is what I recommend.
Well, thank you very much for that recommendation. And would you recommend them to be on this show?
Of course, no doubt, no doubt. Edwin, don't even ask. Of course, I remember that the first podcast we spoke a bit about the topic, and you made me comfortable. And this is very important, especially for people who are going to be on a podcast for the first time. So I would really recommend to be on your podcast for several reasons. among one of which is that you make people feel comfortable.
Well, I'll challenge you then to challenge 3 other people to be on the podcast that are in your circle, just to say, hey, you should go do this.
Yes, and I'm trying with one of my ex-colleagues, and I'm pushing hard. It's shy like any other KM person. It's just try to avoid as much as possible, but I will not give up and say, come on, let's do this together.
Yes.
Promise, I will work on this very hard.
Well,
I will be an advocate.
Thank you for being a KM lobbyist and for being a KM supporter and expert in this field, because it's a joy to speak with you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Edwin. It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Recorded live at the Cohen Multimedia Studio at Chautauqua Institution, Because You Need to Know is designed to bring people's experience and their knowledge forward to be shared. I'm Edwin K. Morris, and I thank you for joining in to listen to another conversation brought to you as a public service of Pioneer Knowledge Services, a nonprofit tax-exempt organization with a charitable knowledge management purpose. Find us online at pioneer-ks.org and add your voice to the conversation on Facebook.